Hey everyone, I miss you. It's been a while since I've done a Facebook video. I actually wanted to do live so that I can interact with you all, but my Facebook is not updated with that capability yet to do it inside of this group. So I thought I'll just do a video, and that way I can at least connect with you all. Last week I went to LA, and every time I rode past a Hollywood sign, I would think about the Martin Show. Do you remember when he went to Hollywood? He went to the Varnell Hill show, which was played by Tommy Davidson. Do you remember that? And Tommy Davidson's his tagline was, "Did you miss me?" So my question to you is, did you miss me? Like, did you miss me? Like, I've missed you all. Like, I missed the connection, which is why I'm here today doing this video, because I wish I could have done a live because we could have connected in a different way. But at least this way you can see my face and I can talk to you. But today, for our reflection question, or I don't even know if it's going to be a question today, but I wanted to talk about branding. I have a lot of entrepreneurs who are part of my Facebook community. So when I scroll through my timeline, I see a lot of brand coaches, a lot of brand consultants talking about branding. They talk about the logos, having the right color schemes to attract clients. They talk about the font, and all those things matter. But what matters the most is the brand you. So I want to talk about the brand you today, and you as the person you are today and what you present to the world. So, when I talk about branding, I'm talking about what people say about you when you leave the room. Like, what is it? What is people's perception about you when you walk away from them? Last week, I got a note from my neighbor. Was it last week or this week? It may have been this week. I received a note from my neighbor, and we're not close friends. We live in the same community, so we know each other that way. But what she said is that she's reading my book right now, The Beautiful Journey. And she said, I always thought you were good and fair, but now I admire you. And so I love that, right? Like she thought I was good and fair. And I really do strive to be a good person. And I know when she said fair, it came from the fact that I used to serve as the condominium association's board president. And as the president, I didn't always do things that were popular. I would do what was right, right? I looked out for the community as a whole. I didn't look out for one specific person. I always wanted to be fair. I always, even my own stuff that I would have loved to have done, it wasn't about me if it wasn't best for the community. So I always strive to be a fair person. There are other things that I would love for people to take with them when they walk away from me. And I hope that you know what that is. I hope that you know who I am and who I am perceived to be to the world, at least what I present myself to be. And I will say this is that I don't disappoint when people meet me in real life. The person that I am on Facebook, the person that I am when I talk about my business as an entrepreneur, the person that I am in this group is who I am. This is Andrea. And I hope that I don't disappoint when I meet you in person. But anyway, I just wanted to share something because I was thinking about this talking about branding. There's a person, an author. Her name is Carla Harris, but she's more than an author. She works on Wall Street. I believe she's still working. She's still working. But she works on Wall Street. She is a phenomenal, phenomenal person. African American. She sings opera. She sings at Carnegie Hall. She's had the opportunity to do that. Um, but she came to my former place of employment when I worked in corporate America. I like saying when I worked in corporate America. I love being an entrepreneur. It is definitely not for the faint of heart, and it's definitely been a challenge, but it's been fun. And I am at peace with the decision that I made to step out on faith and to become an author, a speaker, and a coach. But getting back to this, she talks about branding and she talks about how people have thoughts about you when you walk away from them. And we all know that, right? We all have that reputation that people have of us, whether it's true or not, right? But she talks about in this book is that perception is the co pilot to reality. So even if what people perceive you to be is not who you really are, it is their reality. Do you get that? So if someone perceives you to be that way, and even though that may not be who you really are, that is their reality, and they will treat you accordingly. So she was talking about how, and I have two books. I have this book, which is her paperback. So I just wanted you to see what it looks like. It's Bet to Win. And this is our hardcover one. It's Bet to Win. 10 Proven Strategies for Thriving in the Workplace. And I have both. She signed one. So I actually have three, but that's neither here or there. But I thought it was such a great book, and so I had bought it for some other people. But she talks about an example, or she gives an example of when she was up for a promotion. She wanted to be promoted, and it didn't happen. So she went back to her manager and said, "Why didn't I get this promotion? Like, I'm more than qualified. I've done all the work. I deserve this job." And he said, "You know, you are smart. You have done all the work, but you just don't seem tough enough." And she said, "Really? I don't seem tough enough." So she's like, "Okay, this is his perception of me." So what she did is that she decided she was going to change his perception and everybody else's around her. So she came up with three things that she wanted them to think about when they thought about her. And so for the next, I can't remember how long, but let's say the next 3 months, every project that she did, every time she had an interaction with someone, and they'd be like, "Oh my goodness, this is great work." She's like, "Yes, I know." And she's like, "I am good at what I do, and I'm tough. I am tough." So she just kept putting that into people so that when they thought about her, guess what they thought? They thought she was tough because she kept saying it. Like, even if they didn't think about it or had a clue or even had the inkling to think if she was tough or not, she made sure that they knew she was tough enough, because that was not going to be what kept her from getting her promotion the next time. So I want to ask you today, like, what is your brand? What is brand you? What is it that people are saying about you? Do you even know? I mean, I will ask you, if you don't know what people think about you, is to find like maybe 5 people that's close to you and ask them to come up with 5 different characteristics to describe you so that you know what people think about you. And if it's not what you want people to think, then take the characteristics you want people to have, and then start living it, start being it, start doing it, start saying it, right? And then you can change the perception that people have of you. And you can do this whether it's with your family and friends. You can do this if it's within your workplace. However, wherever you want to change your brand, just do it. But it also reminds me of something I talked about on Facebook earlier this week. I had gone to a homegoing celebration of someone who was 95 years old. The woman was phenomenal. She was someone who worked with my mom. And so I had known her for many years. And one thing that people talked about is her grace and her smile, and how her smile welcomed people to her. And that is one thing that I remember, the picture that I saw in her obituary of her smiling. That is what resonates with me when I think about her. But it made me think about our legacy. Like, we're creating our legacy every day, whether we know it or not. And our legacy is what we leave this world when we leave this place. So it is what's left once we're gone, right? So it's the imprint, the impact that you will leave once you pass on and transition, right? So I ask you, what is your legacy? What do you want people to remember you by? What is it that you want to do for the world to make this world a better place, to make an impact, to leave a huge imprint? I know these are two different things. I'm talking about branding, then I went off to legacy. But I just really want you to start thinking about that. And I may have to do another scope, or at least I'll send the video and put it inside of this one just so you can see it. But I just wanted you to think about that too. It just came on my heart, so I figured I might as well say it. But anyway, I will see you all next week. I should be around next Wednesday to have our reflection question out. But for this week, the questions are: what is your brand? How are people perceiving you? What can you do to change your brand if you need to? And then when I went off to my tangent, what is your legacy? And how can you create the legacy you want each and every day? All righty. So that's it for this week. I will see you all the next time around. Take care. Love you. Bye bye.